Have you ever felt that sickening clunk when you accidentally shift into park while the car is still rolling? Even just a tiny bit? That's not just a noise. That's the sound of your transmission screaming for help and your bank account getting ready to shrink. Many drivers believe automatic transmissions are invincible, but the truth is, your daily habits might be silently killing the most complex and expensive part of your car. Forget what you think you know. Today we're not just listing mistakes, we're giving you the 6 golden rules to follow to keep your automatic transmission healthy and save you from catastrophic repair bills. First up, let's talk about the cardinal sins of shifting. This is rule number 1. Treat your gear selector with mechanical sympathy. Shifting into park before you've come to a complete total stop is a recipe for disaster. Inside your transmission, there's a small component called a parking pawl. Think of it as a little metal pin that slots into a gear to lock the wheels. It's designed to hold a stationary car, not to stop a moving one. Forcing it into place while there's still momentum can wear down or even snap that pawl. If you hear a grinding noise when you shift into park, that's the sound of damage in progress. Equally destructive is shifting between drive and reverse while the car is still moving, like when you're doing a 3-point turn. This forces the transmission's internal clutches and bands to act as brakes, causing extreme wear and tear that leads to premature failure. And a smaller but still significant habit, stop using your gear selector as a handrest. That constant light pressure can cause premature wear on the selector mechanism and its internal bushings. The gear selector is a tool, not a piece of furniture. Use it to select a gear, then get your hand back on the wheel where it belongs. Our second golden rule is a big one, because it's a myth that just won't die. Stop coasting downhill in neutral. Many drivers are convinced this saves fuel, but on any modern car, it's completely false, and more importantly, incredibly dangerous. When your car is in drive and you're going downhill with your foot off the gas, the engine's momentum keeps it turning. The car's computer is smart enough to recognize this and cuts off the fuel supply to the injectors almost completely. This is called engine braking, and you are literally using zero fuel. The moment you shift into neutral, the engine disconnects from the drivetrain and has to burn a small amount of fuel just to keep itself idling. So you're not saving fuel, you're actually wasting it. But the financial cost is nothing compared to the safety risk. In neutral, you have no immediate power to accelerate away from a hazard. More critically, you lose all engine brake. This puts the entire burden on slowing the car onto your brake pads and rotors, causing them to heat up excessively, a condition known as brake fade. On a long, steep descent, your brakes can lose their effectiveness entirely. Keep it in drive, save your brakes, save your fuel, and maintain control of your vehicle. Golden rule number 3 is all about fluids and temperatures, the lifeblood of your transmission. Let's start with cold mornings. Just like your engine, your transmission needs a moment to warm up. Automatic transmission fluid is hydraulic, and when it's cold, it becomes thick like molasses. Jumping in your car on a freezing day and immediately driving off forces this thick fluid through tiny passages, straining the system and causing harsh, delayed shifts. Give your car just 60 seconds to idle. That's all it takes for the engine and transmission fluid to warm up slightly, thin out, and circulate properly. Now let's talk about heat. A common mistake is sitting at a long red light with the car in drive and your foot on the brake. While this seems harmless, your torque converter is still trying to transfer power, generating a surprising amount of heat. In hot weather, your transmission fluid temperature can climb by 10 or even 15 degrees in just a couple of minutes. Over time, this cumulative heat breaks down the fluid, reducing its ability to lubricate and cool and cooking the delicate internal components. Shifting to neutral at a long light disconnects the torque converter and lets the system relax. The most critical part of this rule, however, is changing your transmission fluid. Some people think it's a lifetime fluid. That's a myth pushed to sell cars, not to make them last. For most vehicles, you should change the fluid and filter every 80,000 kilometers or so. Fresh fluid is bright red and odorless. Old, worn-out fluid is brown or even black and has a burnt smell. That smell is the aroma of impending failure. Don't neglect it. For our fourth rule, let's talk about how you park, because there's a right way and a very, very wrong way. You must always use your parking brake. Always. Yes, even on flat ground. That little parking pawl we talked about earlier is a tiny metal pin holding back the entire weight of your car. When you park on a hill and only use park, all that weight rests directly on that single pin and the transmission's output shaft. Over time, this constant stress can weaken and break it. A broken pawl is an expensive fix. The correct procedure
every single time you park is this. Come to a complete stop with your foot on the main brake pedal. Then shift the car into neutral. With your foot still on the brake, firmly engage the parking brake. Now, slowly release your foot from the brake pedal. You'll feel the car settle as its weight transfers onto the parking brake mechanism, not the transmission. Once the car is settled, press the brake one more time and shift into park. This simple 3-second habit takes all the stress off your transmission and places it on the robust parking brake system, which is exactly what it was designed for. Golden rule number 5 is about respecting the world outside your car. The environment can be an enemy to your transmission if you let it. The first threat is water. Never, ever drive through deep standing water if you can avoid it. You have no idea how deep it is, and on most cars, the transmission has a breather vent located surprisingly low down. If water gets into that vent, it mixes with your transmission fluid, turning it into a milky, useless sludge. This contaminated fluid will destroy the clutch packs and other friction materials inside the transmission. Unlike engine oil, you can't just drain the water and refill it. Once the damage is done, it's done, and you're looking at a full transmission rebuild. The second environmental threat is snow. Getting stuck is frustrating, but the worst thing you can do is stay in one spot and spin your wheels endlessly. This does two things, both of them bad. First, it just digs you deeper into the snow. Second, the rapid low-load spinning of the wheels can cause the differential and transmission to overheat at an unalarming rate, cooking the fluid and causing serious internal damage. Instead, gently try to rock the car back and forth between drive and reverse. Use materials like sand, non-clumping cat litter, or even floor mats under your drive wheels to get some traction. Clear the snow away from the tires with a shovel. Use the car's low gear or snow mode if it has one. Anything is better than a pointless transmission-destroying burnout. Finally, our sixth and most important golden rule is your eyes and your right foot are the ultimate diagnostic tools. Stop ignoring the warning lights on your dashboard. They are not decorations. A check engine light and AT temp light or a low oil pressure light is your car's way of screaming for help before a small problem becomes a massive wallet-draining catastrophe. Get the codes checked immediately. Ignoring them is like ignoring chest pains. It's not going to end well. Alongside your eyes, you need to control your right foot. We get it. Accelerating hard can be fun, but making a habit of flooring it from a dead stop puts immense shock load through the entire drivetrain. It slams the transmission, stresses the engine mounts, and can even damage your drive shafts. A smooth, progressive acceleration is not only better for the long-term health of every component in your car, but it will also save you a significant amount of money on fuel. Driving smoothly is a sign of a good driver, not a boring one. It means you're in control of your machine, not the other way around. So there you have it. Following these 6 rules can mean the difference between a car that runs smoothly for years and one that leaves you stranded with a repair bill that costs more than the car is worth. What do you think is the worst habit you see other drivers doing? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories. If you found this guide helpful, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more tips to keep your car on the road and out of the shop.